If you have come across this dissertation, it is imperative to suspend all activity and listen with the utmost attention, as this alignment transcends mere algorithmic chance. A recondite code is hidden in the fabric of your reality, a message the universe incessantly attempts to send you, but which remains inexorably precluded to a restricted minority. That unexpected and seemingly unmotivated shiver, the obsessive occurrence of a numerical sequence, or the vivid sensation of a perfect déjà vu are not the result of a feverish imagination. On the contrary, they are configured as genuine glitches in the matrix, unequivocal cryptic clues left by a primordial intelligence, which Egyptian culture identified in the figure of Thoth, scribe of the gods and master of wisdom and time. The ineluctable secret, which is about to be unveiled here, is that these signs do not operate fortuitously. They delineate a precise pattern, a cognitive map that leads to a truth so powerful it has been concealed from humanity for millennia. This truth concerns the revelation of your authentic essence and the intrinsic power to break the repetitive and limiting cycles that have hitherto marked your existence. If you have always harbored the intimate and persistent conviction of being destined for an existential experience that transcends the mere fulfillment of financial obligations and waiting for the weekend, this reading constitutes your definitive and resonant confirmation. You are not afflicted by delusion or perceptual error, but are actively experiencing the complex phenomenon of awakening. The intuition of a hidden message residing immediately beneath the surface of your perception is, in itself, the first irrefutable sign of your readiness. Your presence on this path of knowledge does not derive from a chance click in your feed, but from an intrinsic guide, a resonance that is altering your very conception of the real. Your mind is intrinsically programmed to discern subtle connections and recurrent patterns that most individuals, irremediably immersed in their daily routines, cannot even conceive. Esoteric Egyptian traditions offered an explanation for this perceptual diversity, holding that Thoth had recorded the destiny of every single soul on his sacred papyri. For the vast majority, the existential path is predetermined and linear. However, for the chosen souls ready for evolution, he intentionally left an encrypted code, a series of subtle tracks scattered within the very fabric of reality, comparable to breadcrumbs placed in a dark forest, whose function is to lead the chosen one back to their true original essence. Accepting the full veracity and deep implication of these signs places you in a position of singular existential discomfort. You have always perceived a profound otherness with respect to the surrounding world, observing with detachment the obsessive race for status, ephemeral gossip, or conditional happiness, with a tacit question echoing in your mind: is this the ultimate horizon of human existence? I urge you, therefore, to an act of immediate and lucid awareness. Leave a like here now, because your choice to proceed is the unequivocal signature of your courage. It is probable that you have tried in vain to conform, to take an interest in the same conversations, and to share the same common ambitions, but every attempt has felt forced and alienating, like wearing an incongruous garment that does not belong to you, tight and uncomfortable. This inner torment, this incessant restlessness, is in reality your inner call amplifying ever more peremptorily, an alarm signal that can no longer be suppressed by resorting to easy distractions. You have reached an ontological point of no return, positioning yourself on the edge of a metaphorical precipice. On one side, the predictable and formally safe life remains, but is intrinsically empty. On the other, the dense fog of the unknown extends, equally terrifying and irresistibly magnetic. It is no longer conceivable to regress to the comfort of the previous hypnosis, as your gaze has already pierced the veil and glimpsed the truth behind the illusion. The choice is thus ineluctable and entirely yours. Take a step back, condemning yourself to live in the perennial regret of cowardice, or take the leap with absolute trust in the same subtle force that has led you this far. Understand that this leap is not an action dictated by madness, but an act of radical faith in your deepest perception and in the uncomfortable truth that matures within you. Many individuals, having reached this same border, retreat, opting for the reassuring security of the known prison, but your soul feels the irrepressible need for unlimited space and authentic freedom. The moment you choose to take the leap, You must be aware that you will not encounter an illuminated and easy path. On the contrary, you will fall directly into a territory you have been taught to avoid your entire life. You will be compelled to an inevitable and crucial confrontation, not with the external world, nor with others, but with the oldest and most powerful of antagonists, the only entity that resides and has always resided in your depths. The first contact with inner darkness, in fact, does not reveal an external monster, but your very shadow, defined as the resultant of all psychic energy repressed and rejected since childhood, the sum of the parts of you that have been judged unacceptable by social morality. This inner torment, this incessant restlessness, is in reality your inner call amplifying ever more peremptorily, an alarm signal that can no longer be suppressed. A socially compatible mask was imposed on you to gain love and acceptance, but every unexpressed frustration, every impulse judged negative, has converged into the basement of consciousness, fermenting and acquiring a latent power. This is the supreme test of the chosen one, confronting not external injustices, but the inner monster you have involuntarily created and nourished with denial. The vast majority succumb at this point, preferring superficial illusion to the terrifying admission of their own capacity for cruelty, selfishness, or destructiveness. However, here lies the great arcana protected by the guardians of ancient wisdom. Within that darkness is concealed not only pain, but in it also resides, buried, the totality of your raw power, the indomitable strength, the inextinguishable passion, the limitless creativity, and the courage to establish boundaries, i.e., to affirm your no. Attempting to live obstinately and solely in the light amounts to leading a weak, unbalanced, and profoundly false existence. The true and immeasurable strength does not derive from ethical perfection, but from being intrinsically whole. The fundamental question, therefore, is not whether your shadow will emerge, as the inner lock is already fatally cracked, but how you will react when it manifests, a confrontation that will either destroy you or lead you to freedom, provided you are willing to pay the immediate price of ceasing all forms of self-deception. The exact moment the lie ceases and you confront your shadow, your eyes open irreversibly, revealing a painful truth. Awareness bestows an existential weight. The fundamental mystifications that sustain society, happiness promised by advertising in exchange for consumption, security bartered by politics in exchange for freedom, relationships based on self-interest and not affection, become disarmingly transparent and painfully obvious. This nascent lucidity, although liberating, isolates you. Common conversations transform into intolerable noise, an empty distraction, and old friendships dissolve, suddenly speaking an incomprehensible language. This solitude is brutal, but constitutes an essential initiatory passage, the initiatory desert. Away from the clamor and the search for external approval, you are forced to validate your own voice and become your sole authority. In this imposed silence, you discover that solitude is not at all emptiness, the pain of the absence of others, but manifests as fullness, the peace of being integrally in your presence. It is the price of sovereignty over the soul. You exchange the comfort guaranteed by belonging to the crowd for absolute mastery over your destiny. You cease to be a sheep in the flock and become the shepherd of yourself. From this unexpected self-sufficiency arises a magnetic freedom, an energy that radiates pacification, and which is attractive to those who are also navigating their own dark nights. Having overcome inner darkness and the desert of solitude, the definitive and ineluctable question is imposed. Why this path, so arduous and unlike the majority? Your mission does not reside in saving humanity, nor in the accumulation of fame or material wealth. Your mission is to cease self-deception at every level, becoming so radically honest about who you are and what you desire that your very presence is an act of silent rebellion. In a world founded on masks and the repetition of cultural echoes, you are called to be the original voice. Your purpose is not revealed by a grandiose mystical plan descended from the heavens, but is manifested in the small daily choices, the courage to express your truth in the family, to follow intuition against all preconceived logic, to interrupt a relationship that diminishes you. You are here to break a cycle, to transform an inherited family behavioral pattern, fear, conflict, scarcity, through awareness and the firm refusal to transmit it. You do not have to find a lost purpose, but to become the purpose itself. Alignment with your deepest truth produces harmony between action, word, and energy, and purpose ceases to be a search to become your natural expression. Your journey has been a preliminary energetic purification to access a faculty believed to be reserved for a few. Intuition manifesting as a sixth sense, Thoth's eye-opening. You begin to perceive the energetic density of places and the disharmony between a person's exteriority and the sadness of their energy field. Dreams cease to be chaos and transform into clear messages, solutions, or premonitions. Reality splits for you into physical and energetic, granting you a power that imposes a burden. You can no longer participate in relationships based on illusion. Your very presence becomes a mirror, triggering attraction or profound discomfort in those around you. This perspective leads you to the maximum secret, the principle that binds the entire creation, the Emerald Tablet. The core of all mystery is condensed in the phrase, "That which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below." This is not a philosophical enigma, but the literal instruction on how reality works. Your inner world, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, is the creator of your outer world. You do not attract what you want, but what you are, energetically. The universe responds to your state of being. The phases experienced have been a process of vibrational purification, tuning your frequency to a clearer station. With inner work, you have become a cleaner and more powerful magnet, and the universe, by virtue of its impersonal law, must offer you an external reality that perfectly aligns with your new vibration. You stop asking and start to allow the energy to manifest. The assimilation of this secret must descend from the mind to the center of your being. The heart, the center of intelligence and truth for the Egyptians. The alchemy of the heart is the process of transforming dense emotions into purified fuel. Fear becomes presence, anger, focused passion, sadness, empathy. The heart, purified, becomes your inner sun, radiating a stable coherence that makes you immune to external chaos. From this state emerges true creative capacity. Your intentions manifest with speed. You are ready for the final phase, the recovery of the power of the lost word. Ancient texts attest that the universe was created through sound and vibration. Your words are not simple sounds, but decrees, packets of energy that program the matrix of your reality. With a purified heart and a lucid mind, your words acquire unheard of power. You cease describing your reality and begin to decree it. Mastery is achieved when thoughts, mind, feelings, heart, and words, action, are perfectly aligned on a single frequency. You stop fighting the current to become the current itself. This mastery leads to the conclusion of the path, the return. Initiation does not end in an isolated state of enlightenment, but in the return to the valley, to everyday life, with a radically transformed presence and energy. You are the initiate who returns not to flaunt or convert, but to serve through the natural overflow of your being. Your life becomes your message, a beacon that helps others find the answer within themselves. The cycle is complete. The chosen one, who began by seeing signs, returns as a sign for others. You are a conscious co-creator, remembering to be a spark of creation itself. To definitively seal the circle of this synergy and consolidate the irrevocability of your awakening, we invite you to manifest your support with a like, if you have not yet expressed it, as an energetic affirmation of your consciousness. Subsequently, we urge you to deposit your intention in the comments, leaving a key phrase, simple yet charismatic, that reflects your decision to assume the full sovereignty of your existence. Write, for example, "I broke the code." Finally, if you wish to continue this essential journey of deep transformation with us, Do not delay the act of subscribing to the channel, activating the notification so as not to miss the upcoming chapters of this revelation. We sincerely thank you for honoring this alignment with your invaluable attention, recognizing your role as a co-creator. May your inner coherence act as an infallible compass, guiding your every choice toward the full and unlimited manifestation of your potential. I wish you abundance in all its forms, and I send you a fervent greeting. See you soon.